In terms of table space management, we have managed by system, which is what we used in the example earlier. So this is also known as SMS, which stands for System Managed Storage, where system refers to a file system. The containers to use can only be directories. SMS table spaces are fairly easy to manage. You don't need to pre-allocate anything. The file system will take care of these and the files will grow dynamically. Performance is very good, but it's not the best. You cannot split index and large objects to different table spaces. Everything has to be together. Regular table space type is the default and the only one allowed for SMS. For example, earlier in this lesson, I created an SMS table space as follows. DB2 create table space, TLS 4K, page size 4K, managed by system using C erase buffer pool BP 4K. So now let's create another table space with a different name and in a different directory. So let's call these table space my TBLS 4K, page size is still 4K, managed by system using C raised 2 buffer pool BP 4K, and then we press enter. Note that the directory C raised 2 does not need to exist and will be created when the table space is used. Then we have managed by database, also known as database managed storage or DMS. Here the containers can be either a file or a raw device, and you have to pre-allocate them with a given size. It gives you more control in the sense that you can add, drop, and resize the containers, while in the SMS you could only extend containers unless you use something called redirect restore, which will be discussed in the DB2 Essential 3 course. With DMS you can separate your index, your table data, and lobs, which means large objects, into separate table spaces. Large table space type is the default. For example, let's create a couple of table spaces and then let's create a table that will use those two table spaces. We issue a DB2 create table space data DMS1, that would be the name of the table space, managed by database. That means it's going to be a DMS table space using, as mentioned before, you can use either a file or a raw device as your container. So in this case I'm going to use a file, and I'm going to specify this file name as c:/dms1 dms file, and then I have to specify a size which is going to be 1000 pages, and I'm going to press enter. I'm not specifying the page size, so it will use the default for DMS. The default are large table spaces and a size of 8K for the page size. So then I press enter, and the statement executes successfully. Now I'm going to create another table space, and I'm going to call these index DMS1, and it's going to be managed also by database, so it's DMS, and it's going to be stored in the directory, or sorry, in the file, and I have to provide a full path, c:/ix1 DMS file, and the same size. So it's the same name for the file, but it's in the different directory. So then I press enter, and I have created successfully my second table space. Now that I have these two table spaces created, I'm going to create a table using DB2 create table TBL2. Column 1 I define it as integer, column 2 I define it as integer, and I say in data DMS1. So that means the data will go to table space data DMS1, and then I'm going to say index in index DMS1. So what that means is all indices should go to this other table space. So that's how I am separating the data from the index. So that's something you can do when you use DMS table spaces. If I press enter, now the statement is completed successfully.